In this video, we're going to be talking about the simple yet very powerful business strategy that Patrick Bet-David used to build an insurance company that he sold for hundreds of millions of dollars. So we're going to watch a 2-minute clip here where he talks about how he built this insurance company, and then we'll break it down and talk more about it. And if you don't know who Patrick Bet-David is, he's an entrepreneur and he's a popular content creator and podcaster. So yeah, let's get into this clip and then we'll talk about it.
When I got into the financial services, I was like, oh, I found my home. And I said, I'm going to go 20 years. Yeah. I said, I'm going to go 20 years. And then I went 20 years, October of 2009. After Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, I go to Transamerica. I'm there 7.5 years.
Yeah.
Then I see what's going on in the marketplace. And I'm seeing the fact that, the insurance industry is filled with 56-year-old white male.
Yeah.
And I saw no one else is going from women selling insurance.
Do you know anything about insurance at this time?
Nothing. My parents have never owned a 401k.
Insurance?
My parents have never lived in a house my parents owned. They've never owned insurance. We didn't even have auto insurance back in the days. Nothing.
The car didn't go
Literally, my dad
backwards.
he was a cashier at a 99-cent store. No, we got nothing. Zero.
Okay.
And I kept asking my mom, you guys sure we don't have some kind of a relative that's got oil? I'm looking for one uncle.
So yeah, again here, it's very important to note that before he got into this business, he had no idea about the insurance business, okay? So no experience, no background in the business whatsoever. And he's gonna break down and tell us the strategy that he used, very simple strategy, but very powerful strategy that he used to not only compete in the market, but thrive and build a very large and successful insurance business. So let's hear what he has to say.
Does anybody have money? Nothing. Zero.
So you're like, all right, fuck it, I'll just dominate the insurance business.
Yeah.
Now, how did you dominate? You said there was basically a white space where everybody is white male,
So
and now you can.
Let me tell you, there was a couple things that was going. This applies to every business. This applies to whatever you do in your life. So these guys wrote this book called Blue Ocean Strategy. If you've never read it, you got to read it. Okay, so the whole concept of Blue Ocean Strategy is how can you be? Everybody's making fun of these guys. How about if I'm not going to compete for this space, I'm going to go do comedy here. Everybody's playing this game. Everybody's selling to these guys. I'm going to go sell here. So I'm looking at insurance, and I said, okay, everybody's targeting this audience. No one's targeting the fastest growing audience in America, it's the Hispanic audience, and no one is recruiting women. Only 17% of agents are women. You're kidding me. No. Perfect. That's what we're going to be doing. Boom. We target that audience. The financial industry was going away from social media because they were scared. Every communication you have with your client, you have to document it. We can't do that. Social media is not waiting for you. So I dropped my securities license. I focused only on life. Fast forward to today. We just sold a company a year ago. We have roughly 45,000 people we've licensed in 49 different states. 54% or so are women. 51% are Hispanic. In a company. And the average age is 34 years old. You come to a convention, you're going to look at the audience, you're going to say, there's no way in the world this is an insurance conference. It's a big-ass party.
How much did you sell the company for?
A few $100 million.
A few $100 million is a wonderful way to say it.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so you get complete financial freedom. You don't have to work another day in your life.
I don't have to work a single day in my life.
And then you decide to be...
All right, so that's enough here. So his strategy is very simple. He noticed that there is an underserved market, okay? The Hispanic market was not being served. No insurance company was selling to that specific group of people, right? They were ignored for some reason. And they are a large and growing submarket within the US. So he noticed that, and without having any experience, he probably offered the same exact services, maybe at the same price point as all of the other insurance companies. The only difference is that he went after an underserved market. He didn't even try and compete with the big insurance companies, within their own target markets. So he shifted his attention to an underserved audience, and this is why he was able to succeed. And let me show you what I actually mean here, okay? So let's say this represents, the entire market. insurance, okay? Insurance market. Could be anything else, but using Patrick's example, let's say this is insurance. Now, within that market, there are many different sub-markets, okay? So right here, you have different groups, different age groups, different demographics. Within the US, you have the Hispanics, you have other groups. In every market, you're gonna find sub-markets that might be easier to compete in, or they might be completely underserved. Nobody's providing services, nobody's selling to that segment of the market. Okay, so he just noticed that there's an opportunity here, and he also noticed that the profile of the average insurance salesman is a white guy, and he gave like an older white guy, and he decided to hire a lot more women to become saleswomen in his insurance company. So those are the only two advantage points he has. And this is something that you can do in any business. Now, for example, there's a company that provides skincare products for African American women. Okay, they have different needs. You know, they have a specific type of skin that might need, you know, certain nutrients. They formulate a skin product that works for them. So there are always underserved markets that you can tap into, and even if they are not, you know, completely underserved, maybe they have a few big companies in the space, you can still go in and compete in that sub-market and dominate that sub-market instead of competing with much more established competition, much larger, have deeper pockets. So yeah, keep that in mind. Whenever there's an opportunity to niche down, you should always take it. But one thing to always keep in mind is that not every sub-market is created equal. A sub-market group that is not very large and it's not growing, so it's dying, you should probably avoid that, right? The Hispanic group, for example, there are millions, tens of millions of Hispanics in the US, and they're growing, right? There are a lot of Hispanics coming into the country, so you should always make sure that if you want to niche down, serve an underserved group, make sure that that market is large and growing so you can continue to grow your business as that target audience grows. And always keep in mind that taking 80% of this smaller sub-market probably means you're going to be making a lot more than taking, you know, 2% of the larger insurance market, okay, or 5%. So if you dominate a sub-market that is large, you're probably going to make a lot more than being just another option in a sea full of options within a big market. So yeah, if you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, or you want to get into business, always make sure that you have a competitive advantage in your market, okay? And serving an underserved market or niching down to a sub-market like Patrick did is one of the best strategies you can do. And with that being said, thanks for watching this video. If you got some value from it, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time.